Hello Facebook, this is your girl Sean. I just want to share this video today to maybe help or inspire someone or give some knowledge to some people. And I know you're probably asking yourself, why does she have a mask on her face? Well, the question that you ask is, why does she has a mask on her face and it's not Halloween? A mask is what people wears. Some people wears. A lot of times we wear it because we want people to see a side that's really not the side that we're living in. And a lot of times we have to be careful with people with masks because they have hidden agendas. Sometimes people can wear that mask so good where you can't even see it. You're not seeing people walk around with a mask on their face. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll be able to feel that something is wrong with them when you begin to see the mask. But people can hide the mask so good until you cannot see it until the time comes. And a lot of times we get this mask when things happen or time. Through time, you know, I always hear people say, give it time and you'll see a person's true self. A lot of times when people take the mask off, and you see the real them, you never see that person when you first meet them or when you first talk to them. They never show you that side, but something happened or something triggers and that mask comes up. You be able to see a whole different side than what you portrayed on. You have so many people that goes through domestic violence. And a lot of times they, you say, well, why they stayed in it so long? They stayed in it so long because the person that they was with or a person that they was involved with never showed them the mask. They never showed them that that person has two sides to them. They never showed them that side. And then when something happened, it triggers, you see that side of that person. So many people are hiding within the mask. So many people are pretending within the mask. And it's not they walking around with one of these on their face, hiding. It's like they learn to cover it up. Some people can cover up abuse so well. Some people can cover up pain so bad. Some people can cover up, they can fake it. If we look at some of Medea's movies, when a young lady was being abused, wasn't abused where you can see it. She was abused where you really couldn't see it. And you got so many people, and I'm not just talking about women, but I'm talking about men too, that go to abuse. Because a lot of times men are taught not to hit a woman. And then you have some men that see nothing wrong with a man beating on a woman. And then a lot of times you hear people say, well, she shouldn't have put her hand on him. Well, maybe she didn't you never know. Maybe sometimes you don't have to put your hand on somebody. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, I had a young man to inbox me and said a lot of times through his upbringing, he seen his dad beat on his mom. And he thought it was okay to beat on women until he was taught something different. Sometimes people upbringing taught them to be a certain way. You know what I'm saying? But that mask is real, y'all. And we got to be careful. And we got to look at the signs. And I'm telling you, I know everybody is getting signs that, you know what I'm saying? When you start seeing the signs, you start looking, it's not that bad. I'm going to let it go. Or it won't happen again. Oh, it's going to happen again. It's going to happen again and again and again. A lot of times, what I also say, a lot of time abusers do not walk with a sign on their head or on their back or on their shoulder and say, I am an abuser. I'm an abuser, or I'm a murderer, or I'm a killer. They're not wearing it on their head like that. Some people have hidden agendas. You know what I'm saying? Some people come in your life and they has a hidden agenda. And a lot of times it ain't always good. A lot of times people come in your life and they want to destroy you. Some people come in your life and they want to destroy your character, your business, your marriage, relationship. You know what I'm saying? Even your lifestyle. So we have to be careful who we allow in our life. I remember back in the day when grandma, when you would start seeing somebody or you start hanging with people, the first thing they would ask for, who is their parents? Who their parents? Where they live at? You know what I'm saying? What their mamas. They raised by two parents in the home. You got to ask those questions. But now we got away from that because we feel that we are grown and it don't take all that. But I'm telling you, it does. It take all of that because some people are not who they portray. Some people that you see go out there and do massive murders, or go and shoot up a school, or go shoot up a church, or go kill somebody's wife, or go kill her husband. That person didn't look like there was nothing wrong with them. Sometimes those people have good jobs, good families, but you never know what's in that person's head. You never know what that person is thinking. And a lot of times we understand when we meet these type of people, or we get these type of people in our life that has masses, we see the signs. We start saying, oh, I'll change them. Maybe if I give a little bit of this or give a little bit of that, that'll change them. You cannot change nobody that has the wrong thinking in their head. Some people have the wrong thinking. Steve Harvey said you got to get to know them. You got to start looking and you got to catch them on their bad days and their good days. I really believe, and I'm looking at my life, I really believe we get signs, but we look over them. And then when the tragedy come, we said, I should have got out of it. I should have walked away from it. I should have never answered the phone. You know what I'm saying? When we had all of the signs, people are crippled and paralyzed and dead and broken today because they looked over the signs. So I just want to really encourage somebody today. I was looking at Ricky Smiley, Eva, the young lady that was on Top Model, that won Top Model. She was talking about domestic violence, and it really blessed me. It really made me tear up because we never know what a person is going through. You know what I'm saying? They could look so good and they could look like they got it all together, but behind closed doors, they getting their face beat in where you can't see it. They getting beat in all under their clothes. They not only, because a lot of times we take abuse of something that you see, but a lot of times abuse could be with their mouth. You got some people that gets off on tearing people down with their mouth, and that could do more damage than actually a person actually hitting them with their fist. You got young ladies now, and sometimes you have some men, you go get men that's been abused too. You say, well, how do a man be abused? Because maybe he taught not to hit a woman. Maybe he taught not to, do anything out of character to a woman. So he puts up with it. And a lot of times I feel, for me and my understanding, I feel a lot of times we go through stuff because of our self-esteem. We don't know, you know what I'm saying? Or our self-esteem or issues that's going on in our life. I had a young lady to inbox me, and she was saying that she went through a lot of abusive relationship because she had a bunch of kids, and he would tell her that nobody wanted her. You know what I'm saying? Who gonna want you? And she was ugly. And she began to feel that all those things that he was saying, that he was the best thing for her, because here she has a lot of kids and she didn't look like she used to. But one thing I must say is, you got to love you. You got to know you. You got to love you. And a lot of times when you get people that has a problem with abuse, a lot of times they want to get you all by yourself. Sometimes they have you to leave your family. They want you to, they find out everything wrong with your family, or they're wrong with everything's wrong with your friend, because they want to isolate you to be just with them, or so nobody will interfere in your life. But I just want to really encourage you to tell you, no matter what you are going through, that you can come out of it. But the first thing you must do, you must reach out. You must reach out, and you got to get tired, and if you got kids and they see you going through abuse, you got to think about those kids, because it ain't just affecting you, it's affecting your children. And how much do you love yourself, and how much do you love your kids, to see your kids be mistreated, to see your kids being talked to any kind of way, see your kids see things being taken away from your kids. So be careful of the mass. Be careful of people with masks on. When you start seeing the signs, please don't look over them. Because if you look over the mask, and you look over what you're seeing, guess what? It's going to cause you more harm it's going to cause you more harm than anything. And you can't come out of it. You can't come out of it. And you got to start loving yourself. You got to love yourself. Some people come in your life to destroy you. And if you're not careful, they will take your life away. So don't close your eyes on the signs. And don't feel that you can't walk out of it. Don't walk away. There's somebody, brother or sister, aunt and uncle is going through abuse right now. And they stand in it because I don't want people to talk. I don't want nobody to talk about me. I'm going to stay in it because you know what I'm saying? It's going to get better. Sometimes it don't get better. You get years and years and years of abuse. And a lot of times people rather stay in it because of things that they got invested in it to really walk away. And what's the point of having something where you're so broken and you can't even enjoy it? Some people are walking around with masks on and they literally hurting. There are some people going through situations right now because they wear a mask and they don't want nobody to know what they're going through, and they rather stay in it. And they keep telling themselves that it's going to get better. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. That person's going to change. That person might not never change. And you just in it. A lot of times they be in it for the house, the car, the home, the money. You know what I'm saying? What people going to say. You cannot let your happiness be defined on what people say. So I just want to really encourage somebody today. Y'all have a blessed day.